Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for January 17th to the 24th, 2025. I invite you to join me in adding your energy, your intention, your well-being to this energy so that we can pull it in clearer and cleaner and more refined than ever before. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me as we set the intention for this reading. With each breath, drawing into sync across time and space. And with that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you and centering you and allowing you to be fully here now, but it is also providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children about to do a reading of the week for January 17th to the 24th, 2025. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective, highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. At this time, I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us across time and space, creating a container of love, of light, of clarity, of wisdom, of insight, of peace, of transformation, of healing. Whatever is uppermost in our collective heart and mind may be held here in a good way today. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get into the reading, shall we? Okay, Creator, what is it that we need to know? And I didn't adjust the background. Well, too late now. Okay, you're getting all my flaws today. I'm going to move ahead. I thought maybe I could pause it, but we'll just keep going, shall we? So what is it that we most need to know here today, Creator, for our personal and collective, highest and greatest good? For this week of January 17th to the 24th, 2025. Thank you. Okay, we are starting with the Hermit. And the Hermit, make sure I don't have any glare here. The Hermit is a major arcana, evidently. It is key number 9. And the past position, of course, is things that from our past that are relevant into our present, into our future. And so this quality, this energy of the Hermit. Now, the Hermit withdraws from the modern world, from the outer world, from the world of the social and the perhaps superficial, to go deep within, to find themselves, to come to their core, to come home to themselves. So they are deeply anchored and rooted in themselves, deeply aligned with their inner truth. And as a result, others seek them out because they are so wise, they are so truthful, because they've deeply, deeply come home to themselves. And so this quality of the Hermit is relevant to us now, from our past into our present, into our future. This quality of coming deeply home to ourselves, of knowing ourselves really, really well, so that we are able to be authentic and congruent, not only in our own experience, but with others, because that authenticity and congruence calls it out in others and enables others to be more fully themselves. We can relax when we're with authentic and real people. in a way that doesn't happen if we sense somebody is operating on a superficial level, on a way that isn't as deep as they could go or as authentic as it could be. And I don't mean the depths of the ocean, you have to have heady, deep conversations all the time. Nothing like that. I'm just talking about the authenticity and the depth of an individual, of their character, of who they are, and of their personality, and how much more easily we can move into trust with them or move into right relationship with them because we know who they are. We know where they stand. We know what they're saying and what they're about. There's truth there, and we can sense it deeply, and it puts us at ease and allows us to show up more deeply and thoroughly. And so when we hold this ourselves, we are different individuals in our relationships with others and with life itself, which is really, really important. The present card, we have the card of reevaluation, the Four of Hearts. And the Four of Hearts, you see she's withdrawn from the world, a little bit like the Hermit, this idea of pulling back from the distractions of the outer world to go deeply within. She's got her box of treasures out, and she is in this meditative, contemplative state, as we know from her crown chakra being lit up. And she's going through her box of treasures and reevaluating what is important to her, what is essential, what is she holding near and dear as she moves out into this next piece of her life, and what is she letting go of. So it's this very deliberate, intentional quality about what is important and what no longer is important, so that there's a shedding of extraneous energy, of extraneous distraction, of extraneous stuff even, and an opportunity to come home to the self and to be more deeply aligned and congruent. These two cards are very, very congruent. They're very aligned, so that there's an opportunity to really show up truthfully and authentically and deeply and well in right relationship with ourselves first. And then from that clean and clear and grounded space and right relationship with everyone that we meet. Because that is really, really, really deeply powerful, not only for our own satisfaction and fulfillment of our own life experience, but also our ability to be a clearing for the good of others, our ability to just be that authentic selfness that allows others to be their authentic self too in response. And we have the Prince of Hearts, or the Knight of Hearts, depending on what deck you use. In mine, he's a prince. And you see he's riding around. He doesn't have a sword. He doesn't have a shield. He's not out to fight. He's out to love. He's out to connect. He's out to have a good time. And he's riding around. He's waving his heart around. He's saying, who wants to join me? Movement on the level of the heart, movement on the level of joy, of celebration, of being alive, of being human. So this is the card that we're moving towards. It's like calling out to others, to find our people, to find our tribe, to find those that we're here to resonate with and co-create with and move life forward with. So this coming home to ourselves, withdrawing a little bit, getting clean and clear, getting authentic, getting lined up with ourselves, with what is true for us, so that we can be true and authentic with others, is calling us into a different relationship with our community, with the world. We respond, we resonate on a different level, and so life can find us. Our people can find us. Our right relationships can find us, because we're coming at life from that good place. Boy, all these distractions tonight. I'm so sorry. So here we've got this beautiful community energy, or this moving towards community, this moving into calling it in, drawing it in through our frequency, through our being lined up, and just enjoying this process, being authentic, being true, being lined up with ourselves. And as a result, we're calling it in. We're calling in life in a new way, and it's wonderful. And our foundation card, the name of the card is Seclusion. So we kind of have a theme going here. And the foundation card is why we're having the reading this week. And it's this energy of creating space for ourselves. You see, we have this lovely enclosure caused by the swords, and we have this individual sitting in meditation, in contemplation, a little bit apart from the world. They've carved a space in their lives to have this inner peace, this inner connection, this sense of who they are. This is our foundation. It's why we're having the reading this week. This theme of going inward, of giving ourselves space, of moving away from outer distraction to the inner world, and coming home to ourselves and our authenticity and our truth, so that we can be a cleaner, clearer expression of who we are in the world. And these are both fours, and fours are the most stable. The number 4 is a square. It's the most stable of the geometric solids. And so there's this quality of stability. We are stable when we're grounded and connected to ourselves. We are clean and clear and grounded and full of possibility when we are in this space within ourselves. And as I said, it provides others with stability and reassurance and clarity because they know who you are. They know how to be themselves with you because you're true. So they can be true. It's different. And then we enter in a different relationship. Life changes very, very quickly when we are that authentic, clean, and clear person. We attract our people. We attract these relationships, and it changes our whole life experience, and it's quite magnificent. Okay, and from here, let's move into our card to grow on. What do we need to know this week? So I think this is really interesting, this idea of coming home to ourselves, taking time, giving ourselves permission to take the time, to be peaceful, to withdraw a little bit from the distraction of the outer world and come home to ourselves and discover what is important. And we do that through that sort of meditative, contemplative separateness from the hustle and bustle and the hurly-burly of the outer world. And that creates a clearing for good new life and relationships and love to find us. So we can be in different relationship with the whole world. When we change, everything around us changes. It's very powerful. Okay, and with that, let's go into our card to grow on. So it is that we need to know, Creator. We'll summarize this beautiful reading today so that we can carry it in one form in our consciousness, if that's helpful. But as we move forward from this reading today, what would be most supportive of our highest and greatest good, our highest offering to life, our highest satisfaction, joy, and fulfillment? What do we need to know? Oh, the Nightmare card. Just had that one not that long ago. Nightmare. So when we are in a nightmare, we believe it's true. We shout out, we toss, we turn, we cry out. We sometimes even cry. We have emotions that are very, very strong. We have convictions that something terrible is about to happen. It's very powerful, very strong. And then we wake up. And thank goodness we woke up because that was dreadful. And that's what this card is all about. It's this idea of waking ourselves up. If we are living in something of a nightmare, understanding that we are powerful co-creators of our experience. Our perception of our experience has everything to do with how we're experiencing it. So life may be difficult, and it is for many, many people. There's a lot of really dreadful things happening in the world, in people's lives. And I don't want to minimize the pain and the suffering that people are living through. And I also want to offer the possibility that we can reframe our experience into a more resilient, resourceful, and empowered perspective so that we're not victims, we're not stuck in a nightmare. We understand that we can change the experience. We can wake up from the nightmare, have a new way of looking at things, have a new way of perceiving our life so that we are empowered and we can shift the energy and move it in the direction that we want it to go in. It's very powerful. So this is our card to grow on, and it's interesting in the context of what we were just looking at about withdrawing a little bit from the world, of giving ourselves some space to come home to ourselves, to touch into who we are authentically. What do we want? What do we want to experience? How do we want to feel? It's more that than it is the stuff of life. I want to be loved. I want to be seen. I want to be appreciated. I want to be acknowledged. I want to live in a community of like-minded people who get where I'm going and support me and are excited by what I'm doing, and et cetera, et cetera. Whatever that picture is, there's just some ideas for you. So this card to grow on is reminding us that we need to be proactive. We need to rouse ourselves. We need to wake up from the dream. We need to choose to see things differently. We've talked about it before in these readings. When life gives us contrast, it's an opportunity. When life gives us hard things, those challenges that we live through, those unpleasant things that we live through, they help us to clarify what we prefer. And that's powerful, especially if we can not fall in the hole of wallowing about the terrible thing that just happened to us and instead pivot and go, what do I know now? What has that taught me? What am I understanding now about myself? Waking ourselves up from the situation and saying, okay, I'm in an environment where I'm not appreciated, seen, or loved. I want to be seen, appreciated, and loved. Where would it be useful to give my energy? How can I pull that in? What can I turn towards that I will experience more of that? And start to go in the direction of what is wanted, because that is incredibly powerful for pulling it in. Again, when we shift our energy, we become magnets to all that we desire, to all that we're emanating. So we're the starting point. That's why keeping it clean and clear within us is so important, because when we shift our inner frequency, our set point, our dial on the radio, if you want to call it that, we pull in everything that we desire to the frequency that we allow ourselves. That's why gratitude practice is so incredibly helpful for shifting us out of self-pity and feeling stuck. When we stop and we're grateful for what is good in our lives, we shift our frequency, we shift our energy, we go towards gratitude and appreciation, and those are very high frequencies. That's more towards love. And that helps us to move in the direction of what it is that we actually want, rather than focusing on what we don't want. We can't suffer enough to change anything. We have to shift our perspective. Worrying is worshiping the problem. We have to shift out of that state. We have to wake ourselves up. It takes discipline. It takes mastery. It takes intention for us to move out of this state of, I'm a victim, there's nothing I can do, this is horrible, there's just, the world is a shitty place, people are terrible, it's a horrible, horrible thing that's going on, and there's nothing we can do, I'm powerless. We have to shift out of that way of thinking, because with that self-awareness, with that mastery, with those distinctions, with that waking up, we shift ourselves, and as I said before, we shift the world around us. It is so, so powerful. We become resonant and magnetic and attractive to those things that we desire, and we pull them in. And those things that no longer match us leave our lives. We're just not a match for them anymore, so they can't stay unless they shift and come up in frequency. So there's a lot there this week. There's a lot for us to contemplate. But as the earlier cards showed us, it starts with us having an inner practice, of connecting with ourselves, allying with ourselves, clarifying with ourselves. Who are we? What do we love? What are we here for? What are we moving towards? What is our yes? And how do we live into the most congruent expression of that within ourselves first, but in our world with those closest to us, our communities, and beyond? Waking ourselves up from our perceptions of what is terrible, choosing deliberately to shift our focus towards what we know now. When we witness the travesty of war and the devastation of war, we know we want peace, we want kindness, we want love, and we want respect. We want this for everyone. As a mother, I know I want it for everyone's children. I don't want anyone to go through that. We all understand these things, and so we need to shift out, and that's how we'll create the world we now want. I'm going on and on. I apologize. The energy is strong, and it's a good reading, and I'm looking forward to it benefiting myself and you, and thus out into the world, ripple positive effects. So with that, our nightmare card, let's close the reading for this week. I invite you to take a nice deep breath. Come home to that beautiful body. And consider how this week you could take some time to come home to yourself, to ally with yourself, to love yourself, to create room for the dream, for the vision, for the hope, for the desires, for the clarity. Who am I? Where do I want to be going? It is a new year. It's a perfect time for us to take time away from outer distraction, away from other people. Just slow it down, get quiet, get still, get inward, and clarify for ourselves so that we can live into our authenticity, our truth, our yes, our possibility space, and make this year a really, really productive and happy and expanded one, where we're living more into our authentic self, having more of the broader, wiser part of us within in every moment, so we make better choices and we respond from a higher, wiser place, and we're kinder, more loving and expressive of our gifts, and in resonance with all that good that we are already, calling it in and pulling it in magnificent ways. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I am so grateful for this opportunity once again to do this reading with all of you. Thank you to all those who've helped to hold this space today. Thank you for all those who are walking with us, helping us to wake up, to become masters, to have powerful distinctions and move our lives forward in authentic and congruent, magnificent ways. I ask that we have all the support and the guidance and the insights and the God winks and all the other good stuff that comes with being in this magnificent body. Help us to move towards that lovely state of magnetism of that which we want and manifesting it into our experience easily and effortlessly with great joy and serendipity. I wish that for you, for myself, for all those we love, and for this world at large. This reading is at an end for this week of January 17th to the 24th, 2025. My name is Titania. Thank you for being here once again and adding your energy to this circle. I will look forward to seeing you next Friday. If you would like a reading of your own, the link is down below this video. I am available for online readings wherever you are in the world. Let's do it. Much love and light, and I will see you next Friday. Bye for now.